Thank you, Kathy. First of all, I would like to thank the BGRI for inviting me to this presentation. And I'm going to present cultivating successes in Ethiopia, the contrasting stripe rust situation in 2010 and 13. This is prepared by my colleagues, including myself, and all the efforts are the contribution of our team. So in case some questions arise, they can help me. On the left side of the picture, as you can see, Ethiopia was in great problem, and fields were widely yellowish all across the country. And one of the popular variety was severely devastated by stripe rust. And compared to that in 2013, the yields were very impressive. Some of the varieties gave more than 6 tons per hectare. So we are telling this success under problems, and success is tested through problems. So this is one of the issues which I want to tell. Where is it? My presentation, I will go through highlight of wheat production in Ethiopia, recurrent rust epidemic, very briefly. Then I will try to mention what the country went through, what conditions were prevalent in 2010 as well as in 2013. Then I will try to compare side by side, bringing all the environments of 2010 with that of 2013 with some of the key factors. Then I have questions which you might go through my presentation and then find the answer for it. I'm sorry, still. To just highlight wheat production in Ethiopia, wheat is one of the major stable and strategic food security crop in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the largest producer of wheat in sub-Saharan Africa. Wheat is grown on 1.7 million hectares, and from which about 4 million tons were produced. This is a forecast for 2013 and 14. Wheat is cultivated by over 5 million householders. Most of them are small-scale farmers. And wheat is grown in altitudes ranging from 1,500 to 2,800, which is mainly rain-fed, and the amount of rain the country is getting for wheat production is equal or greater than 500 millimeters. Wheat in Ethiopia is grown and in field somewhere throughout the country, which has some effect for the green bridge. When we look at the trend of wheat area and the production in the country, we can see over 50 years that the yield is below 1 ton during the 1960s and partly 70s. Then it is about 1 ton during the 1970s and 1990s. And you can see a turning point during the 2000 where production and productivity has increased. And most of the stewardship you saw yesterday, it is a contribution of all efforts that improved the production and the productivity of wheat. Looking at recurrent epidemics of wheat, which is a key constraint for Ethiopian farmers, we can see that some of the popular varieties were out of production because of the following diseases. In 1888, Dashin was out of production after 4 years in production. 1993, Inkoi, which was popular and which has served for 19 years, was out of production because of stem rust. In 2010, two of the popular cultivars like Kopsa and Galema, which have served over 15 years in the country, were out of production because of the breakdown of gene. And also in 2013, though we have success, we do have also some problems, and the success came through passing all these steps. Going back to the condition of 2010, Kopsa and Galama were occupying over 500,000 hectares of land, and Ethiopia experienced the largest stripe rust epidemic in recent history. An estimated 60 million Ethiopian Birr was spent to purchase fungicides, and the country has large production losses were observed. And these are some of the fields you see commonly, which was all distributed across the country. Looking at the weather conditions during 2010 and 2013, there were extended wet season in 2010 and 2013, well-distributed rainfall, cool temperature. All these factors were very conducive for happy wheat and as well as happy stripe rust. And when we look at the green and the blue colors, we can observe that from June to September, the amount of rainfall was above normal in both conditions, both years. Coming to the temperature, there were suitable conditions for stripe rust. As you can see, this is meteorological stations taken from southeastern to northwestern part of the country where wheat is mainly grown. If we consider the northwestern part, you can see the average temperature for 2010 and 2013 were greater than 2 degrees centigrade and less than 21 degrees centigrade with presence of precipitation. These were creating good conditions for rusts, and you can see the number of suitable days for stripe rust under all conditions. Especially in the southeastern part, you can see the bimodal nature of rain and the temperature, where wheat is grown in bulk and meher season, which has also a bridging effect for rusts to survive. Initial outbreak, where and when it started, you can see in 2010, early occurrence of stripe rust occurred at Asasa, which is the wheat belt of the country. Also in 2013, similar thing happened, that the outbreak was started or initiated at the same place. Going to the wind disperser patterns, you can see that the green area is major wheat growing part of the country, and the blue and red arrows are the direction of wind during August to September, where wheat is in field. So it was extremely similar wind disperser pattern for both 2010 and 2013. considering the number of fields surveyed during 2010 and 2013, the distribution is similar, and more number of fields were surveyed during 2013. And you can see the similar trends, and samples were taken from all these. And the next slide indicates that the blue coalescent spots are where striped rust hot spots were recorded, and you can see in 2010 more areas of striped rust hot spots, while in 2013 there are a few pockets, though the number of surveyed fields were almost similar, with more in 2013. Contrasting the two seasons, the outcome looks like this. In 2010, over 600 hectares of land was affected in three regions, which are Oromia, Amhara, and southern nations and nationalities, while in 2013, pocket of striped rust was present in Tigray and southern regions. Coming to the number of sites infected, about 58% of the total fields surveyed were infected, while in 2013, only about 27% of the surveyed sites were infected. When considering the area spread by fungicides, in 2010 it was over 180,000 hectares were spread by spending 60 million Ethiopian Birr, or close to 3.2 million US dollar. But when we compare this in 2013, only 15 to 20,000 hectares were sprayed. They were timely, effective fungicide control occurred, so losses were very minimal. On-farm losses in 2010 were ranging from 60 to 100, while it was negligible in 2013. And in general, significant national losses, which is greater than 10% of the total wheat production in the country, occurred in 2010, while a record wheat harvest of over 4 million tons in 2013 was forecasted. So this is a big success, and here, if you look at the potential production impacts, the stripped area is a major wheat growing parts of the country, and if we overlay the 2010 striped rust infected areas, you can see most of the major wheat areas have hot spot for striped rust. And when coming to here, you can look at how many gains were obtained from wheat as compared to the other cereals. Here, when we compare wheat yield with the previous year, in 2010 it was the lowest of among the cereals, while in 2013 the yield gain over the previous year was about 12, which is the highest as compared to the other cereals. Also, what influenced the production of over 4 million tons is that susceptible varieties were distributed across the country in 2010, while resistant varieties replaced the susceptible varieties. When we look at the summary of the cultivars, you can see majority of the varieties during 2010 were either susceptible or moderately susceptible, but in 2013, Most of them were resistant or moderately resistant. And this is field reaction, not other contributing factors. As you can see, farmers were aware in 2013 while it was low in 2010. Information exchange was limited in 2010 while it was good in 2013. We do have bulk and early main season surveys in 2013 than no in 2012. So these are some of the contributing factors, and the lessons learned and the recommendations made after this. Farmer extension capacity building was made. Farmers were able to identify and control rusts. Need of strategic fungicide reserve. Continued rapid seed multiplication and promotion. And new diverse APR source of resistance, as well as diversification of crops. So, conclusion, in 2013 was a high-risk year for striped rust. Positive actions post-2010 epidemic certainly contributed to making 2013 a record wheat production year for Ethiopia, and the key factors were indicated. Wheat rust investment in Ethiopia are paying dividends, but no room for comparisons. So in 2013, we do have also stem rust outbreak, which was widely highly infected, our popular variety Negro. The incursion of the new race was TKTT. So the breakdown of gene, rapid disease development in short time. The localized epidemic covered about 20,000 hectares to 40,000. So it was 100% crop loss in worst affected areas. You can see the field side by side. One is fungicide sprayed, the other one without fungicide. So rusts never sleep, but nor do Ethiopian wheat scientists. So the commitment to improve the country's wheat crop continues. I would like to acknowledge donors, implementers, researchers, and all stakeholders involved in this. Thank you very much.